Hawkins, this is Zach. This video is going to be different than the other videos. Today is today's video is you really want to know what grinds my gears? Okay, in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, Zack Snyder was using a CGI program called VFX for the CGI lighting and add-ons. And Doctor Strange and Marvel Studio did the same thing with Doctor Strange. They used VFX for the whole Jim Morrison very trippy acid trip for the graphics and CGI and lighting. But it's going. But Doctor Strange is getting a nomination for VFX for Doctor Strange, and they're completely ignoring Batman vs Superman. Now, this really ticks me off. Batman vs Superman went worldwide, broke every record except for Jim Cameron's Titanic by a little hair, and also came out with two different editions of the film. You got the one that we all saw in the movie theater that most of the people and critics did not like, which I loved. And then also got people scratching their heads like, this doesn't make sense. And then we got the other edition that came out a couple weeks after the regular DVD of that cut came out, and you were only were able to get that on Blu-ray. And that cut is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition. And the only difference between this cut and the other cut is this one is rated R. Now, I have not seen the Ultimate Edition. I'm planning on to. I got it yesterday. Now, what's going on is, what really ticks me off is Zack Snyder used this for Batman vs Superman, which was shot beautifully. Everything was phenomenal. I love this movie. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says. I don't care what the other movie critics say. Like myself, I'm a somewhat movie critic, say about this movie, but I'm ultimately in love with this movie. I am in love with it. I've been asking for it since the first time I read The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. I've been asking, I want that Batman, and I finally got that Batman, and he's right there, played by Frank Miller. And we get that armor bat suit. The same bat suit, but a little bit more awesomer than the one that Frank Miller did, which I don't care, because it still is awesome. Granted, he's not connected to the light pulse and fighting Superman, but they're still fighting. I also own Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. I want to give Part 2, but I got Part 1. And it's still phenomenal. I love it. It goes by my favorite comic book, which I own. Dark Knight Returns. And it also has another comic book theme into it. And a lot of people are not realizing it, that doesn't happen. Is that they put... They also have The Death of Superman, which came out in the 90s, which is my also favorite Superman comic book, also the restoration of Superman. What Zack Snyder did was, if you read The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, and you read The Death of Superman, and you combine them together, what do you get? you ultimately get Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. That's what you get, folks. Okay. So Batman v Superman supposedly getting the shouldn't be getting ignored at all. Yes, it was a dark film. It has to be a dark film. I mean, I understand Superman and Wonder Woman are in it, but it had to. Batman is the darkest. I love Batman. I also love Wolverine. And I got Batman poster right there. I got a Bat-Signal. I got my Batmans right there. I got a Batman collection of movies and stuff. And I got Batman comic books and Batman video games. Batman shirts, Batman wallets. Just showing you guys so I'm not lying. Batman wallet. Also got Batman shoes. One side's Batman. The other side is Joker. I'm a Batman freak. Dawn of Justice should be getting a nomination as well. It should also be getting multiple nominations as well. I think Ben Affleck should also be getting a Academy Award in this. For, he put his... A lot of rumors are going around and stuff about this, and he's also been saying that he hated Daredevil, which I like the director's cut of Daredevil. It's really good. But he hated the 2003 Daredevil. So when you watch this, you can tell he poured his heart into this. And a lot of people didn't know this. Him and Kevin Smith are huge Batman fans. He wanted to play Batman instead of Daredevil. And he wanted to play the Dark Knight Returns kind of Batman. And he finally gets to. And he's doing Justice League Part 1. He's also doing we already know, although he's teasing us about it, he's going to be doing a Batman solo film. And he's also probably going to be making cameos in other movies of the DCEU movies, like he did with Suicide Squad at the post-credit scene where he was talking to Amanda Waller and pretty much saying that you should stop this or I will get you. But yeah, I mean, he's good now. He's a good director. I like Argo. I also like Good Will Hunting. I like the director's cut of Daredevil, but I don't like the other cut of Daredevil. But I also like Armageddon. And it's one of my, Zack Snyder. He's a comic book fan, and he did his work on this. I mean, yeah, he has Doomsday in there. And, it's phenomenal. The only thing I hate in that movie is Jesse Eisenberg's take on Lex Luthor. But, so overall, Zack Snyder and WB and DC Comics and the DCEU, I hope I'm saying that right, should be getting a nomination and academies for Dawn of Justice because they pour their hearts out. Yes, the film was dark, but the graphics were phenomenal. The stuff they did. Also, it also followed. This also is the after events of Man of Steel, which I owned. There it is. Which I own. This is the after effects of Batman. Dawn of Justice is the after effects of Dawn of Justice. Dawn of Justice is the after effects of Man of Steel, and this is the beginning of this DCEU franchise. And giving the characters new fresh takes and everything. And I like it. I love it. And I've been saying this on my Facebook. I'm not buying any more Marvel Studio movies. I'm not buying any more Marvel Studio movies. I have what I want. Although I will replace the ones that got stolen from me, which is the 2008 Incredible Hulk, and that's it. I own all the Iron Man movies. That's all I'm buying. Is the 2008 Incredible Hulk. I have the 2003 Hulk. But that's, and I have the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But I'm not buying any more Marvel movies. I'm mostly now going to be buying uh, DC movies. I am completely in love what they're doing with these movies, and I'm happy with it. And I don't care if you guys think I'm a snob. I really don't care because yes, Batman. I don't care. The Batman is supposed to be dark, and if you read The Dark Knight Returns, he does kill people. So don't be shocked that, oh my god, Batman doesn't kill people. Yeah, he does. Read The Dark Knight Returns. I mean, heck, there's a trying to look for it. Okay, so that's like, if you haven't seen The Dark Knight, Dawn of Justice, I feel bad for you guys. But same thing. Robert, one of the mutants, is shooting, goes close to the wall. Batman breaks through, and then he's saying, "Back off, man. I'll kill the kid. Believe me, man. I will. Believe me." And then Batman. See, there it is. What I'm talking about. And then. And what does he say? He says, "I believe you." He does kill people. So that's all I have to say about that. Alright. I'm cutting it to that. And remember, you guys, nerds are on top of the food chain. Peace, love.